Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your lead Scentsy consultant. So today I have for you the melting basket for the month of October, and you guys voted last month, and you can probably tell what won. We are going on a pumpkin hayride in my melting basket today. So I have pumpkins all over the place. I have to at least use them for everything, right? So I have in here primarily orange wax, which I'm sure isn't a shock. And we're just going to go and enjoy pumpkin everything with the idea that we'd be taking a hayride and smelling a lot of these smells. So I even dug out the one cute little pumpkin mug that is one of my daughter's favorites. And yes, I love pumpkins. If you cannot tell, I coat my house in pumpkins in the fall. I probably have 50 or more fake pumpkins, plus all the real ones that I buy every year, and they are my favorite thing to decorate with, even more so than Christmas, except for the reindeer. So let's get started on our pumpkin hayride melting basket. So first off is what I personally call my pumpkin hayride scent, which is Farmstand Pumpkin. And this bar just gives me the whole package of going out and picking pumpkins, which of course many of us have done either as children or with our children, or for some of you maybe with your grandchildren, where you go to the orchard, you get on the wagon, you have all the hay, you bounce down the rutted roads, it's all muddy usually, and you end up searching for that perfect pumpkin in the harvest fields. And the sweet smell of the hay mixed with usually somebody holding their cup of apple cider or coffee that's pumpkin spiced, and just the beautiful fresh air. This Farmstand Pumpkin is exactly that for me. And it has this gentleness to it that a lot of these other pumpkin smells are maybe more bakery or they're more woodsy. This one is just such a home run for me always. So I know that Scentsy says that it's got caramel, it's got cinnamon, and it has the pumpkin. But everything that I just described is what I get, and it is one of those that I typically put back in my club at the end of the season because I just don't want to be without those memories from Farmstand Pumpkin. So next we have, this one's so good, Scary Good. And Scary Good is the most pumpkin pie of all the scents that we have. We have more bakery ones like pumpkin roll and some of the others that we'll talk about, but this one really gives me that feeling of all the spices and the goodness, plus the butterscotch, which kind of pushes it a little bit away from pumpkin pie, and there's no crust, but that filling, the filling that you have to take a spoonful or you lick the sides of the beater from when you make those pies at Thanksgiving. And we always use the Libby's can of pumpkin plus extra nutmeg. That's sort of our family secret, and I always make the crust homemade. Oh, and this Scary Good has all of those wonderful spices, and it's a very strong performer. Where the Farmstand Pumpkin's a medium, this is a medium to sometimes really strong, depending on the day and where I put it. Next, we have the beautiful and very popular Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. This is one of those pumpkin bars that it's just nice. It's like the child that everybody enjoys having over because they're always sweet. Oh, and so this has a lot of frosting, cream cheese frosting specifically to my nose, plus the pumpkin goodness and the cinnamon. So if you want a little bit of cinnamon but not tons, Scary Good's pretty strong. The Farmstand Pumpkin or the Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl I think would be better bets if you want something that isn't too spice heavy. All right, next in my melting basket, I have pumpkin roll. Now for me, I typically hold on to pumpkin roll until closer to Halloween, and then I melt it all the way through to Thanksgiving. Because I know this one's supposed to be like a pumpkin roulade, where it's got the sponge cake and you wrap the filling and maybe some toasted pecans. I actually make those for my mother-in-law every Christmas, or most Christmases, but this bar reminds me more of that kind of a feeling. So for me, it's almost like later season pumpkin, but it's beautiful. And I'm sure we'll melt it a couple times in October. It's really nice, and it's a classic. So that's pumpkin roll. Medium throw. And when that one is really good, it's really good. Okay, next is the new one for October, Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. And this is a bar that has a lot of odd notes that are a lot more than just your typical pumpkin spice scent. So this has pineapple, it has maraschino cherry, it has whipped cream, vanilla, sweetness, there's definitely sweetness. It's very much bakery, and then it has the pumpkin pulp or pumpkin, like almost like a pumpkin muffiny kind of a scent, and maple syrup. So it's very much like going and standing in line at the apple orchard waiting for your cinnamon sugar donut, which is the best. There's nothing like a fresh harvest cider and donut pairing. It's just so good. So that is warm pumpkin drizzle. Is it at the top of my pumpkin list? No, but it is very nice. And for some of you where you want something a little different, I think that will totally fit the bill. All right, next we have one of my absolute faves in this box, pumpkin chai. This thing performs, and it's one of my favorite scent profiles, and I always end up grabbing the clam. I've got more than one pumpkin chai where the top falls off. Anyway, so what's left? Oh, pumpkin chai. It's got the sweetness of pumpkin, the smoothness of pumpkin, and then it has the chai latte with the wonderful steamed frothy milk and all of the right spices. And this one goes and goes. It throws really well. It's more mellow than scary good, but it's got that kind of ability to throw. Oh, is this good? So this one is definitely, let me grab the clam top. I need to tape this, and really I just need to use it and pull a different one out. So that's pumpkin chai. Need a sip of coffee. I don't usually use this mug because I like bigger ones, but I had to for this particular video. I even have, and I'll show that in my Harvest and Holiday tea video, which I'll do like late October, early November probably. I have a teapot that's shaped like a pumpkin. It's a Fitz and Floyd with little pilgrim mouse that pops out the side in a window. It's so cute. Anyway, so let's keep moving here. Ooh, next we have one of the new ones from the Harvest Trio. I am loving this bar. This is Cozy Vanilla and Pumpkin. This is so good, and it's very much like Farmstand Pumpkin. It's got that gentleness, and I love both of them. I did melt them on the same day in the house. There are slight differences. In the Farmstand Pumpkin, you have more of that caramel and sweetness, and for me, that sweet hay scent. Whereas the Cozy Vanilla and Pumpkin has more vanilla, less distinct pumpkin, but it's just this wonderful, huggy, cozy smell that you absolutely have to have for fall. This is a winner. I put it in my club. It's very, very good. So you've got all the pumpkin, you have the cinnamon, but it's a very gentle, just like a whisper of spice, and the vanilla that rounds it out. It's cuddly goodness, good medium throw for me. I haven't had any performance issues as long as I'm not thinking that it's gonna like blast out of the house. Very nice bar. Okay, next was from last year's Harvest Trio. This one is a medium to medium strong performer, and that is the amazing Cranberry Pumpkin Spice. I am very surprised this did not make it into the catalog this year. This is cranberry, and this is like a Yankee smell. There are a couple of scents we got within the last 2 or 3 years that just bring me right back to the profiles of the Yankee Candle Company, which that's what I grew up with. It's so nostalgic. And so this one gives me that link back to things like, I don't even remember all the names, but I think they had a spiced pumpkin. They had an autumn wreath. Oh, so good. And this one performs very well. It's a solid medium to medium strong, and it just goes and goes. The cranberry that's in here gives it a little extra something, and it feels very November, October, November. Phenomenal. So if you don't have it in your club and you see it in like a flash sale and you love pumpkin, you love cranberry, please pick it up. Okay, next we have First Day of Fall. First Day of Fall is one of the woodsier ones here. So I gave you the whole pile of pumpkins first, but since we're going out on a hayride, I was imagining the other smells, like the fresh air and the campfire from, the people that are next door at the campground and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through all those bars too. And of course, you have to be sipping some cider or cider flavored something. First Day of Fall gives you more like the pumpkin patch. So there's the spicy, almost earthiness, and then you had the pumpkin and you had the cinnamon stick. It's very good. And my younger daughter absolutely adores this, and I've been melting more of it this year and really enjoying it. So then after that, we get into the cider smells, because the place that I almost always would go to pick a pumpkin is also one of the best cider mills and orchards around, and they pump out gallons and gallons of the best, and I make my apple pies with their apples always. So Bright Cider Life, absolutely a home run, had to go in here. So nice. So this is apple and pumpkin and spice, and I'm telling you there is a donut note in this bar. Doesn't say anything about it in the descriptions that we've gotten, and I don't even know if I've ever seen a scent pyramid for this, but there should be gingerbread donut or cinnamon spice and sugar donut or pumpkin cinnamon donut somewhere in there. This captures the essence of being at the apple orchard or being out doing any of those harvest activities. It's phenomenal. Okay, next we have Cider Mill. Now, Cider Mill truly smells like the cider itself. It's beautiful. It's apple, pumpkin, and very subtle, gentle simmer spices. So it's smoother than Bright Cider Life, and it doesn't have as much body. But it's perfection, and the lightness of it makes it so that almost everyone loves this bar. It's been around forever, and I would be totally remiss not to put this in October's best hits, which we are calling Pumpkin Hayride. All right, the next one is another cider smell, which is even lighter. So if you go to a fancy, like, vineyard type place where they're going to have other things to offer you, you might be able to get some fancy honey pear cider or even some sort of a really nice wine or a mixed cocktail or drink or whatever that would have something sophisticated like pear and spice and honey in it rather than just run-of-the-mill cider. This is beautiful. And this one is definitely the gentlest of the cider smells that I've ever had from Scentsy. It's lovely, but you do need to kind of protect it when you melt this. Don't put it with something super strong and spicy. You will not smell this one. That is unfortunately retired, but it keeps popping up in bundle deals and flash sales, so hopefully you have some. All right, now we're going to get into more like the market, like if you go to the orchard after your hayride and you're at the market. Harvest Blessings is amazing. So this smells like the corn shocks and the wheat and all the other stuff with the apples and the pears and the pumpkins and the woodcrafts. Harvest Blessings is so good, and this is kind of the dupe for Harvest by Yankee, which is another classic. The longer that you melt Harvest Blessings, the more it becomes a pumpkin spice scent in the best way. But the first few hours, you get a lot of the musk and the oak, and it just reminds me so much of a Yankee smell. This and the Cranberry Pumpkin Spice, they were phenomenal. These both came out, I think, last year, and they are fantastic. Very, very fall. All right, next we have the drive to and from, getting to go on your hayride, and that is Autumn Road Trip. An Autumn Road Trip is a rock star. This one has the fresh, wonderful, crispy, almost funk of fall. So it has the apple. Whoops. These are always falling out and doing stuff. The apples, the pears, and my dog is trapped in one of the rooms. I'm sorry if you hear her whining because she's with my kids and she wants to be out here. Apples and pears and oak and that fresh, beautiful bite that fall gets. You can tell I like this one, can't you? So if you have never tried Autumn Road Trip, please do. Out of this whole basket, I mean, I love all the smells in here. There's not a single scent in here I don't absolutely love, but that one's amazing. All right, and then after that, because when you think of harvest, you think of the harvest moon. And when I was a kid, we would watch these really funny old musical videos that had, I remember one, like, shine on, harvest moon, and the little moon would bounce on the words. This is like from the, 40s or 50s animation. And they always had this harvest moon song. And when we got this Mandarin Moon bar, even though there isn't any like real connection, for some reason I always think of that video when I'm melting Mandarin Moon. So we need the harvest moon. I went out one time and did like the tag in the dark out in the cornfield. Oh my gosh, was that one of the most fun things I ever did as a teen. So this would remind me of that. And Mandarin Moon is fall spices, perfect spiced fall oranges. And it doesn't really smell outdoorsy, but it's just great. And with a name like that, that was a good story to go with it. Okay, next we have Painted Leaves. And this is the woods in October, November. Sharp, crisp. I don't remember exactly what the notes are on this. I always feel like there's a little bit of almost like a blue spruce or a eucalyptus or a pine. Not a lot, not like a couple of the other bars we're going to talk about next. And then just this sharp, fresh woodsiness that isn't pumpkin, isn't spice, isn't apple, but it's totally fall. It's kind of like sweater weather from Bath & Body Works, but not exactly. Very good and very strong. that one's retired too. All right, next, if we've had a great day and we've had our hayride and either we're at a friend's house or we came home and maybe it would be time to gut those pumpkins and do something with them, we need around the campfire because we're going to have a lot of fun making a mess outdoors. Oh, and there's nothing better than toasting the pumpkin seeds. I don't have a bar that goes with that story, but you know, the best part of dealing with the pumpkin is getting out those slimy guts and then taking all the pumpkin seeds and washing them and drying them. And then usually we're too tired and we end up not actually baking them and then getting the pumpkin seeds, but that's what you're supposed to be doing. So around the campfire, good place to do that. Out, not in the house, not too much mess. This is the most wonderful fall, smoky, sappy wood, amazing scent. And this would mix beautifully with a lot of these other smells if you wanted to smoky up one of the harvest things, like maybe Harvest Blessings or Scary Good would probably be really good with this. This is an incredibly good mixer for fall, winter. All right, next is another one that was in our harvest trio, and that is Wild for Fall. And when you're going out in the woods and just enjoying nature, October and November. So I guess this isn't exactly a hayride unless we wanted to take a hayride through the woods to get to the pumpkin patch. I'm stretching it a little here. Wild for Fall is amazing. It's got golden sunflower. It has this satsuma mandarin, but then it's got the right kind of evergreen scent that, yes, it's evergreen. Yes, it's cold weather, but it doesn't scream Christmas to me. It just screams fall, winter. Lovely bar, great throw. This would be fantastic with Wassail Wonderland. It would be fantastic with First Day of Fall. It would be fantastic with several different things that we have. Oh, so good. So I'm looking forward to melting this as it gets like cold outside and there's frost on the ground and you really want to get into that cuddle zone. Got a couple left. So Cedar Cider to me is just one of those bars that screams October. And it's the cedar branches, the apple, there's not really any spice in this, maybe a little bit of cinnamon stick. It's warm and resinous and earthy and very much reminds me of smells at the orchard. And just the things that you do when you go out in the fall. We're going to go to the greenhouse today. And the scents there are different than they are in the summer. In the summertime, it's heavy on the geranium. It's heavy on the really nice herbs and stuff. Now, you're going to be smelling pumpkins. You're going to be smelling mums, which I don't have a single thing in here that smells like mums. We should get one of those. We should have a fall flower scent from Scentsy if you guys are listening. And that is just one of those quintessential fall smells, between the corn shocks and the hay bales and the mums. Oh, anyway, I'm getting off trail. Last one are the goodies that you would be eating while you're out on your hayride, and that is vanilla cinnamon maple, which has grown on me. If you watch my channel a lot, you know that I melt this primarily in my basement. But this reminds me of all the good things of fall. It's got the maple, it's got the cinnamon, it's got the vanilla, your pumpkin bread, and all the baked goods. I'm starting to think about baking, pumpkin muffins or even like a praline and pumpkin type custard or a pie or any of those. And this has that really nice, rich fall bakery goodness. So I hope you have enjoyed our little hayride, and I hope you like all the decor. I went over the top for fun for this month. So next month, either we're going to go on, have a Pilgrim's Thanksgiving, or we're going to go on a late season hike. So do you want to go on a woodsy hike for the Thanksgiving October? No. Do you want to go on a late season hike for November, where it's sort of the off season and everything is sort of suspended between fall and winter? Or do you want to celebrate a Pilgrim's Thanksgiving and do all the good things that way? So sorry about the stumbling. I so appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. I have a lot of fun doing this type of video, and if you guys like this, please let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.